As the rain lashed against the windshield, Lucas spotted something in the distance, a lone figure standing by the side of the road. It was a woman, drenched in rain, wearing a pale white dress. Her long hair clung to her face as she raised her hand in a silent plea for a ride. Lucas slowed down, his initial instinct to drive past wavering. She looked lost, fragile. Against his better judgment, he stopped and rolled down the passenger side window. "Do you need help?" he asked, his voice cutting through the storm. The woman nodded, her lips barely parting. "Home. I need to get home." Reluctantly, Lucas unlocked the door. She climbed in silently, her wet dress soaking the seat. Her presence felt unnerving, but Lucas tried to convince himself it was just the eeriness of the storm. "Where are you headed?" he asked, his voice strained. "Just drive," she whispered. The car moved forward, the silence between them heavy. Lucas glanced at her occasionally. She sat motionless, staring straight ahead, her hands clasped tightly. The faint smell of damp earth lingered in the air. As they drove deeper into the woods, the radio crackled to life. Static filled the car, followed by faint whispers, words Lucas couldn't quite make out. He reached to turn it off, but the whispers grew louder. "They warned you," a distorted voice hissed. Lucas froze, his hand hovering over the dial. He glanced at the woman, who now stared at him with hollow eyes. "What did you say?" he stammered. She didn't respond, her gaze fixed and unblinking. Lucas's grip on the wheel tightened as unease turned to fear. The rain seemed louder, the darkness deeper. "Stop here," she said suddenly, her voice firm. "What? Why?" "Stop, now." Against his instincts, Lucas pulled over. They were on a wooden bridge that groaned under the weight of the car. The river below roared angrily, swollen from the storm. "This is where it happened," she said, her voice barely audible over the rain. "What are you talking about?" Lucas demanded. She turned to him, her face pale and expressionless. "I was on this road once, just like you, late at night, in the rain. I didn't see the signs. I didn't stop." Lucas's heart pounded as she continued, her voice filled with sorrow. "The bridge gave way. My car, it went under. They found me days later. Too late." Lucas stared at her, the realization dawning. "You're not—" She smiled faintly, the edges of her form beginning to blur. "I thought I could warn someone, save them from my fate. But no one ever listens." Before Lucas could respond, the bridge beneath them groaned loudly, the sound of wood splintering filling the air. "Go!" she screamed. Lucas slammed his foot on the gas, the car lurching forward as the bridge collapsed behind him. He didn't look back until he was on solid ground. When he finally stopped, trembling, he looked to the passenger seat. It was empty, save for a single wet footprint. Lucas never took Hollow Creek Road again. But on stormy nights, he couldn't shake the feeling that someone was still sitting beside him, silently watching.